Hey, what's up guys? Brad with Squared Away every day, and today we're going to be taking a look at the coolest Tesla Model X Plaid there is on the road. And what makes it cool? Well, the wrap, of course. Now, I talked about this in my first impressions or initial thoughts video, something like that, whatever it was, when I first picked up the Model X Plaid and I said I was going to do it. I had a little sneak peek on one of the shorts that I did, but now we're going to be taking a look today at what it is. So what is it? What did I do on the Model X Plaid? Well, I ended up doing something called Multicam Black, and I put it on a wrap and I wrapped the car in it. And so this is actually official licensed Multicam Black from Cry Precision, and I'm trying to remember the company. Lens Crafters, is that a glasses company? Imagecraft, I think it's Imagecraft is who it is. Imagecraft hooked this up for me and it looks super, super cool. Now I've got some pops of orange on it and some of the orange didn't really work out. So we're gonna be taking a look here in just 1 second. I'm gonna pull over, we'll hop out of the car and I'll show you what the end result was, but nonetheless, the car looks awesome. If you like the video, well, if you like the video, you're gonna subscribe anyway. Let's hop into it. Let's go ahead and hop out and take a look at what it looks like. Hopefully, I should be filming this on a overcast day, but it is just nice weather out, so that's probably not gonna work right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Again, this is licensed Multicam Black, and we're gonna take a look at what that actually means. Let me adjust the camera here. Okay, I don't know if you can see it on this side, but if we zoom in here, boom, you can see it says Multicam all throughout the car. And we've got some orange accents on the car as well. We've got orange accents on the side mirrors here in the middle of the wheels. I can't decide if I'm going to keep that on. I don't know if I like that. You guys let me know in the comment section down below if you like the Tesla T's on the wheels being orange. I don't know if I do. I don't think I'm really digging that. We've got some little orange, you know, stripiness going on right there. The orange Tesla T on the front. And then, of course, on the rear, we've got the Tesla T as well. And then we've got a little bit of orange accents, boom, right there. And I think that looks awesome. I like that right there quite a bit. So this is what it looks like. This is the Multicam Black wrap on the Tesla Model X Plaid. I'll step back a little bit so you can see it without my shadow on it. And yeah, it looks so cool, so cool. Now, initially, when we wrapped this, I didn't wrap it. I had nothing to do with it other than just coming up with the idea. I asked him to wrap the door jambs in like a hunter orange, and he did do it. And it looked really, really cool. And why I wanted him to do that, we actually did the door jambs were orange on the inside. The interior of like the trunk was orange. And then also on the front, it was in the jambs, it was orange as well. So it had this really cool look to where it was just like glowing orange from the actual panels. And so it looked super awesome. I guess that's one time you would really want a panel gap, is if something like that was happening on your car. And it did look super, super cool. However, because of all the different curves and features of the actual features, that's weird. It's not a feature if it's a curve, right? It's just a curve. It's because of all the curves, it actually wasn't holding super good. It would kind of lift in certain spots, even though he razor bladed so that it would stay down. It wasn't staying down super great. And so when the vehicle was closed up, it looked awesome. It looked so freaking cool. But when the doors went up, it looked super cheap. This is a really expensive car. You know, I don't know what they cost now, 140, 150,000, something like that. And it just was too cheap looking for me to keep it in there. So I took it out from the inside of the door jambs, and this is the end result. So it looks super cool, super cool. Loving the Multicam Black. Now you can see the wheels there. I've got a 20-inch wheel, and I went with that rather than the 22s for two different reasons. I actually wanted, sorry about that guys, my mic got pulled out when I stood up, and so here we are, we're back in the car. So anyway, I went with the 20-inch wheel versus the 22 because, well, first of all, this is like an SUV. I think they actually call it a crossover, but it's an SUV nonetheless. And so I wanted more rim protection if I were to like roll over a curb or whatever. I just wanted a little bit more protection rather than having the 22-inch wheel. And I was hoping to be able to put a Meteor tire, like preferably like an all-terrain, like a Wild Peak AT3 or a BF Goodrich KO2, something along those lines, on the 20-inch and just kind of make it, you know, meaty. And we had the Multicam black wrap and it just was going to be perfect. Now, one thing you can't do on these X's is, sorry, I'm adjusting the camera, is you can't put a roof rack on. And well, obviously that's because we have these doors that go up. So a roof rack would have looked really cool on this as well, but you know, I was gonna work with what I had. So the plan was to do the Multicam black wrap, some meaty KO2s or whatever, Wild Peak AT3s, or I don't really care, just some sort of all-terrain that looked a little meatier and was just a slightly bigger tire on these 20s. And I gotta tell you, it's been a pain in the butt finding something that's actually gonna fit in here without rubbing, and finding something that's not gonna be super, super loud on the road, because these cars are already relatively quiet. And so I didn't want to get something that was going to be overly loud on the road. So anyway, I'm still working that out right this second. I actually have a company I'm working with to try and see if we can get a different wheel on here that's actually still going to clear the brakes properly. I'd like to go with the 19-inch. 18-inch would be awesome. I don't think it's going to clear any brakes though. So I'm probably going to end up going with a 19-inch wheel and a Wild Peak AT3, which is a really good all-terrain tire. I probably prefer to do the KO2 because it's severe weather rated and snow rated tire. But anyway, nonetheless, that's what we're working with here. I think the I think the SUV, whatever, the Model X Plaid turned out really, really good with the camo wrap, and he did a really good job. Now, the one thing I don't like on it, actually, because I have to be honest, right? One thing I'm not super digging is I don't know if you can tell, but the transition right here, there's a transition in the paint and it's slightly like a dark clay color. Also over here, it's kind of like a clay color. I don't even know if you can see it. I should have filmed this on an overcast day. This was kind of dumb. Let's see if there's a better spot. Okay, back here's a good example. Right here, where the transition is, it's kind of got this dark purple or like a clay, like a reddish clay color to it. And the transitions didn't end up looking super, super good. I don't know if you can tell right there either. Right here is where I'm talking. And so if I had to do this over again, I would actually, so as I mentioned, this is a licensed Multicam black wrap. And so if I had to do this over again, here's the way this works. I think the camo pattern itself is like, I want to say 48 inches wide, something like that. It's like 48 inches wide. And so if I were to do this again, I would pick, and then, oh man, I'm like an old man. I'm losing my mind. So the camo itself is 48 inches, but it's designed for a human being. Now, Multicam black is specifically designed for SWAT teams and like local law enforcement units when they want to have some sort of authoritative presence. The Multicam black is not designed to actually camo into anything. It's not for like night vision camo or anything like that. It's just to have kind of a authority look to it and be slightly intimidating. That's really all it's designed to be. So with this particular camo pattern, the way they design it is it's actually designed to be put on clothing. So it's a 48-inch pattern that they'll kind of just like put on clothes. Now what we did with this particular pattern is we blew it up 500%. And so you've got this huge canvas that you can choose from in terms of the pattern of the camo. So if I had to do this over again, I would actually blow it up to 500%. And I would pick certain sections of the camo with as few transitions as possible, because I think the 500% actually looks really good, but I would pick as few color transitions as possible and probably go a little bit heavier on the black if I had to do it over again. That's just me personally, and I would avoid those transitions, especially the purple, you know, the purpley looking look. So anyway, 500% I think was a really good choice. But again, it just, you know, hindsight's 20/20, right? So anyway, car's looking super awesome. I got a lot of comments on it. People really dig this wrap. They really dig it. And I will say this, from afar, let's just say, let me see, what are we looking like on the camera? Let's just say from like 6 to 8 feet out, it looks super, super cool. Like, it looks awesome. But when you get up close to it, it doesn't have the same camo effect. And it just, like when I go to get in the vehicle, it just looks blotchy. I know, I know that sounds stupid because obviously it's gonna look blotchy, it's camo, but I don't know. It just, when you're getting in the vehicle, it does not look very good aesthetically. I don't even think you can see it on this side because of the sun. But anytime you're like 6 feet and out, it looks super cool. So people are always taking pictures of it, and I don't know. Honestly, I forget that it's on here. When I first got it, I was driving around like, wow, yeah, this is like the coolest car in town for like a couple days. And people take pictures of it and they talk to me about it, and I'll be at a supercharger and people are taking photos and they can't really see I'm in it, and then they notice I'm in it and they get all embarrassed. And it's not a big deal. I just, you know, I laugh about it and they laugh about it and we go along our own separate paths. But now I forgot about it. And so I'll just be driving along and people will be taking pictures and like driving all weird, trying to look at it. And I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? And well, it's because they're trying to look at a camo Tesla Model X Plaid, which is super awesome. So anyway, really cool car. If I can get the meaty tires on it, it's gonna be so much better. But for right this second, it looks okay in my opinion. I like it. But the meaty tires would really make it. So we'll see if I can get that going here. But that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to give you an update on it. I've had the wrap on here for about 4 months now. Wraps, as I mentioned in the past, do not really offer much protection in terms of actual paint protection with rock chips. It just doesn't. I've got a chip on the front of the vehicle here. You're not going to believe me. All right, you're not going to believe me. I do. I have a chip on the vehicle that went through the wrap. Let's see if I can find this. It went through the wrap, through the paint. Here it is. Let's see if you can actually see that. Through the wrap, through the paint. And yeah, that's actually through the paint. Through the wrap, through the paint. And it's not like I, you know, cover or follow super close behind people on the road. I'm just not that kind of driver. And still, nonetheless, it really chipped the crap out of it. So I'm kind of a PPF guy, really, if I want to put the money into it. But you can't do camo PPF, so that's what we're working with here. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I know a few of you were asking about an update on the camo wrap. That's the camo wrap. I'll try to get some different pictures up on Instagram. Instagram has a pretty cool one as of right this second if you want to go check it out. But other than that, that's pretty much it, guys. Stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you soon.